What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video we're drawing the Taskmaster from Spider-Man 2. For today's lesson I'll be sketching with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B lead. Let's start by adding some guidelines in the center of our page to help with the balance and symmetry of our drawing. We'll start by sketching a line coming down the center of our page. So start from the very top. We're just going to lightly work our way down towards the bottom. Let's move up to the top and draw another line going across from left to right. Now, I'm going to use these two lines to help us create a circle along the top center of our page. So from that center point, let's move up and just mark off the top of our circle. Now I want to measure that same distance from the center and do the same thing across the bottom. Let's repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center over towards the left and then the right side. Now to create our circle, all we need to do is connect the center point of each mark with a curve. So I'm going to start with the top left. And we just want to rough this in. The circle doesn't have to be perfect. You can always go back and just smooth this out. And we're just using this as a guide. Let's add another line coming down the side of our circle. So start on the left, just bring this all the way down towards the bottom. Do the same thing on the right. Now we're going to add one more line going across the bottom of our circle. Now with this portrait, we're going to be tilting the head forward, so the eyes are going to sit along the bottom of our circle. So from that center point, let's angle this up and then out towards the left side of our circle, towards that line. Go back to the center and do the same thing on the right, going up and out. Now I'm going to tuck the eyes in underneath that brow line. Starting from the left side of our circle, let's step in, draw a straight line coming down towards the bottom of our circle on either side. Angle this down and in towards the bottom of our circle, towards that bottom line. Angle this up and in. Now from the inside point, let's step out, draw a straight line coming all the way down towards the bottom. Now from the outside of the eye, we're going to step out, draw a straight line coming down. Now it's going to round this out and just pull that up in towards that center line. Let's do the same thing on the right. Coming straight down, round out the bottom, and just bend that up towards the middle. Let's place the nose in that center point. Draw two straight lines coming out. Just going to stretch this down and then in towards the bottom. From the tip of the nose, let's draw a straight line going across from left to right. Now from the bottom point of the eyes, let's draw another line coming all the way down. And then from this point, we're just going to angle the cheeks going up and then out towards the side. Now I'm going to follow these two lines coming down, angle this up and out towards the side, and then pull that straight up underneath the cheeks. Let's go back to these two bottom points, angle this down and in, go up towards the top, angle this up and in towards the middle. Now we're going to come all the way down, draw a straight line going across the chin. Now from these 2 points, let's angle the jaw, going up and then out towards the side of the head. Now that we blocked out the face, let's add some shape to the hood. From this center point, we're going to step up, let's bend this up and then out towards the outside of our circle, and do the same thing on the right. From the outside of our circle, let's step in, bend the hood, going out and then down towards the bottom. Now just underneath the chin, we're going to add a half circle. So we'll start on the left, coming down and then back up. From the bottom of the hood, let's bend this down and then in. Now we're going to go back to the outside of our circle and draw the outside of the hood. Let's start with the left side. We're going to go out. Just going to follow that curve, coming down towards the bottom. Bend this down and then in. Now that we have the rough sketch in place, let's go back and erase some of these guidelines. So we just want to clean this up so you can get a better look at our proportions. So taking out everything inside the hood. and the lines on the outside. Now I'm going to go back and use this rough sketch as a guide to help us modify the shape and add some more detail. Now I'm just going to start with the top edge of the hood. Just want to round out that tip. Just add a little bit more shape going up towards the outside corners. Just bending this out, and then we'll just round out the top. Just going to sag this along the side, working our way down towards the bottom, and we'll just round this out. Now just going back, we're going to add that bevel across the top of the eye and give this a slight bend going out towards the top. I'm just going to add the eyes on the inside and on the top. Start by bending this down and in. And just tuck that up underneath. I'm just going to raise the tip of the nose a little bit higher. And come down towards the middle. And we're just going to add that trim along the outside. I'm just going to bend the edge of the mouth coming down and then in, just tapering it in towards the chin. And just tracing back that detail. And we're just going to lightly mark in those slits across the mouth. Now I'm just going to move out and add a little bit more shape to the head. Starting on the top and the center, I'm just going to widen this out on the side. Now I'm going to go back and just clean up our drawing one final time before we add some more detail and shading. Now once we're happy with that rough sketch, we're going to go back in and start darkening up our contrast. I'm just going to fill in that trim around the eyes. I'm just going to add a little bit of detail inside that gap on both sides. I'm just going to lightly shade in that underside of the brow and then fade that down towards the side. Now with the color, we're just going to darken up the outside, and we want to fade that in towards the center, leaving a little bit of a highlight. Add in that seam in the center of the hood. So I'm adding a little bit of a stitch line along the outside. Now we're going to start adding some shadows. Let's start by darkening out the back side, the shoulders, and then fading that out as we come forward. I'm just going to add a little bit more shadow on the right side of the center, and then just fading that out. And the hood's going to cast a shadow across the top of the head. It's going to add a little bit of dirt going around the mouth and the chin. I'm going to darken up the bottom edge of the hood to push this into shadow, and then gradually fade that up. Now as we get closer to the end, I'm just going to add a few more stains across the face and add a little bit more detail, and always be sure to sign my artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of the Taskmaster from Spider-Man 2. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single day. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.